Thought today we'd do an unbox and review on this Rockler 3/8" doweling jig. Now there is another brand or two out there, but I thought for about $22 you couldn't go wrong with this. So we've opened the box up. Now this jig is made for 3/4 inch material, and the jig has got a hardened steel body on it that the drill bit actually goes through. And this is a clear acrylic. Now I don't know if you can see it, but on the jig you got a line going down the center, and that will help you line up the parts when you're drilling them. And the actual holes are 3/4 inch apart. Then you got your drill bit, stop collar, and your Allen wrench. Now these particular dowels are 1.5 inches long. So what we're going to do, we're going to set the stop collar up where it will go through the body of the jig, and then we're going to add just over 3/4 inch to that, and we're going to set our collar up to that, and then we're going to drill those out. So we got our collar set up on our drill bit, and we got the drill bit and the drill. We're going to go ahead and make a mark on our work pieces. Now what this will do, it'll help us keep the jig aligned, and it will also let us know what side is the actual face. So anyhow, with that being said, we're going to go ahead and clamp this workpiece to the jig and drill them out. And remember, if it's not quite 3/4 inch, either way it's okay, as long as you got the face marked. That way if it's off a little bit, it'll still work out. Make sure it's clamped down tight. And we'll put our dowels in. Alright, I don't know if y'all can see that, but that's a pretty good fit right there. Can't complain with that a bit. And that's a pretty wide board too. That fit looks pretty good. Alright y'all, while the jig is super easy to use, you'll notice my line did not quite line up. And there's two things that I found that contribute to this sometimes. And one of those is your pencil lead. Make sure your pencil is sharpened so you got a fine line to go by when you are trying to line the line on your jig up, because they're super small. If you've got a dull lead, it's going to be a wider line, and it's going to give you more room for error when you're lining up your jig. The other thing is using clamps. Sometimes I use these L-style clamps, and they tend to let the jig move just a little bit. You can get you some of these squeeze clamps from Harbor Freight for $2 or $3, and that lets you control the jig a little bit better and hold it down to the workpiece when you're trying to clamp it. Alright y'all, with that being said, we're going to try this dowel jig one more time, and I'm going to use this Harbor Freight squeeze clamp to do that and see just how good it works. We're going to make sure we got a fine line to use this jig with. Line it up on that line. Make sure you hold this dowel jig real good, because it'll slip on you pretty easy. Put it in the squeeze clamp. Alright, now we're going to do this one. Make sure that's lined up real good. All right. So that line lines up pretty good. I think having a squeeze clamp is probably the trick. Being able to see what you're doing and being able to use just one hand to clamp that down. That way you can hold the jig real good with the other hand and keep everything lined up. So anyhow, the jig is super easy to use. The drill bit fits in the body of the jig pretty good, and I really ain't got any complaints with it. If y'all enjoyed the video today, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and give this video a like. If you got any questions, leave them down in the comments, and I will see y'all on the next video.